This article refers to the perseverance that Jesus showed when he came to earth and how that can be a model for our own perseverance. Because life can involve a struggle, and the struggle can be quite intense and quite difficult. And in some ways, we need to be armed with the ability to withstand temptations as they come. And in some ways, the writer to the Hebrews says, look unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, to see in him an example of someone who endured suffering and did so because of the joy that was set before him. And we are to, as it were, not become discouraged or faint-hearted in the trials that we face. And the trials will be real and they will be severe. So what was it that Jesus did when he came to earth that's so incredible? Well, he was indeed the creator of heaven and earth. He was God. He was equal with the Father. And the amazing thing was that as a human being, Jesus was aware of who he was. It's very interesting to look at it from the standpoint of Jesus as God, living out a human life. He must have been aware of what he had sacrificed. And he didn't come to earth into a palace, far from it. He came to earth and lived in relative poverty in an insignificant and despised part of Galilee. He was considered to be the product of an illegitimate birth, and that was known by the community, and he was treated as such. He was despised by the people he lived among. He was even despised by his own brothers. He suffered the contradiction of sinners. The religious authorities hated him and made it very clear, and they would contradict him despite the miracles that he did, which authenticated that he was in fact God's chosen one. In every way, the life that he lived on a day-to-day basis was an amazing sacrifice. He was truly a living sacrifice long before he reached Calvary. And the scriptures in the Psalms and in obviously Isaiah 53 speak of this ongoing daily sacrifice that Jesus had to bear as the Messiah. And he was not recognized as such. Even his closest friends, his disciples, never truly understood who he was. And this life he lived because he wanted to be our propitiation, the one who would, as it were, live the perfect life and die the perfect sacrifice, so that we might be forgiven and go to heaven. And if Jesus was prepared to do that for us, this should encourage us to consider Jesus as we go through our trials and our temptations, and looking unto Jesus and trusting in Jesus and trusting that God will take us through. Remember the last two verses of the Lord's Prayer. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. God is not willing that any should be tempted beyond that which is capable of them being tempted by, and he will provide a way of escape. Well, thank you for listening.